Hmm. Hello champions. Well, I'm going to give you 3 sentences and all these sentences have different meanings, but they are the same sentences. Confused? Well, here are they. He stole my book. He stole my book. He stole my book. Now, all of these 3 sentences, while they are same, can have different actions. When I said he stole my book, it is about him. When I say he stole my book, it is about the act of stealing. And when I said he stole my book, it was almost saying he could have stolen something else, but not the book. Well, this is exactly what happens when problems are presented to you as entrepreneurs. If they are presented in a different way, the meaning and the actions therefore can completely change. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about a tool which is called Gemba. This is a tool that you must use to know the problem the exact way it is. No matter what you do, you're a trader, you're a manufacturer, or you are a distributor or a service provider. You got to apply this tool called Gemba to get your organization to the next level. Keep watching. Welcome back champions. My name is Hardik and I make videos to help your company grow. If you think what I say makes sense and if you feel that a one-to-one conversation with me can help you troubleshoot some of your business challenges, then all you can do is go on to my website, scroll a little down, select the relevant area you need help on, answer a few questions, and there you should be able to book a free one-to-one consulting call with me. So today we are going to be talking about a tool called Gemba. But before we get into the tool, let me tell you why you should be watching this video and learning about this tool in the first place, where I have 4 reasons for you. Gemba means going where the problem is and then understanding the problem. And therefore, it gives 4 benefits. The first benefit is that it allows you to practice visible leadership. What do I mean by that? Well, most leaders like you and me in the organization would sit in our conference room or in our cabin. We would call managers to talk to us. We will understand the problem for them and we will direct them on what they should do. We never go down to the executive level and understand, well, most of the times. So when you go out and sit with every staff of your company, your staff gets the message that the leadership is visible. I can see the leadership. I can feel the leadership. I can communicate with the leadership. Gemba encourages this. The second thing that Gemba encourages you to do is practice servant leadership. Now, what do I mean by servant leadership? Well, when you go and do Gemba, you are technically sitting with the person to understand and serve him, to solve the challenges that he faces in his everyday life. And because you are taking this initiative to go and sit with him, it's also leadership. So it's servant leadership, and doing something like this kind of removes all the barriers that people may have to talk to you. Because at least in our country, every entrepreneur is the so-called sir, even if we've not earned the title. The third benefit is it eradicates all the stories and gives you the real fact. Sometimes, even if people are not purposely trying to explain to you something that is not true, chances are that the interpretation can go wrong. Like the sentences that I told you at the start of this video. So when you go and see the problem in its actual happening, you understand the problem far better. And if you understand the problem far better, your solution is going to be that much more sharper. Fourth, and the biggest benefit, we all want to have a company where every single soul is thinking of how can I improve my work? How can I do more? How can I reduce cost? Well, doing Gemba means working with the people where the problems are happening, kind of allows people to experience your way of looking at a problem, analyzing the problem, constructing a solution and implementing a solution. It kind of influences them to think exactly the way you are thinking. And when something like this happens very regularly, it turns out to be a culture. So Gemba gives you a superb opportunity to coach the people without even actually having to coach. So now very quickly, let's get into how are you going to implement this. Well, I have a very interesting title on how you should implement this. It's called 5G. So the first G is go to the area. Now, when I say go to the area, you got to figure out and pre-plan where you are going to do Gemba. Now, if you're going to do Gemba in inventory, or if you're going to do Gemba in your inventory as in warehouse or production floor or your accounting team, wherever they sit, you got to pre-plan this. And why is it important? It's important because chances are you may end up reaching there when there is no work and you may not be able to see the problem. The outcome is you would have wasted your time. They would end up telling you stories only. So there was no difference between doing Gemba or sitting in a meeting, right? You also may end up going in a time when there's too much of work and you can't do Gemba right. So pre-plan it. Your Gemba should be done when people have time and there is enough volume of work that is coming as well. So you can do both. You can see the problems, at the same time interact with the people as they work. The second G is called get the fact, which means eradication of the stories and knowing how things are happening. At this stage, you must ask the people when you're there, what is the goal that you work for every single day? And you should wait and listen to their articulation of the goal. If they know that my goal is maybe cutting this particular aspect or bending this or polishing this or simply making sure that the order, the moment I got to remove it from the shelf and give it here. They need to know what their goal is. Why do they come to the business every single day? If they don't know that, that's a gap. You got to fix it. If they know it, but they know it's slightly different, then you got to fix it. So ask them what the goal is and then also ask them how is it that they go about doing their goal? What are the processes that they follow? What are the things they need to do what they are doing? How do they work with their peers or their supervisors or their downlines to get to the goal? The third G is called gap identification, which means now that you know that this is what they do and this is the goal that they do this for, it's important for you to ask them the next question. What are the kind of challenges that you face? And also observe yourself. What are the challenges that they face? At this point, you may want to pick up things and try and do things yourself. Because when you do things yourself, you really understand what it is like. I often give this example to my clients, the people that I consult. I tell them that you don't know how spicy the food is unless you actually put the morsel in your own mouth. Right? You don't understand the 2 chilies in the menu that you see. How spicy would that really be? But the moment you put the morsel in your mouth, you're absolutely enlightened, right? So when you start doing things, you will be able to understand what are the challenges. When you ask them, they will feel involved in articulating what their challenges are. At this stage, you may want to use another tool called 5Y. If you want me to make another video for this, please mention it in the comment box and I will do a separate video on that. Simply put, you should be able to understand the gaps or the challenges that they face to get their work done. The fourth G is now that you've understood the challenges, you got to involve them further, which is get reasons. Understand how they understand the problem. Understand what are the situations in which the problem really magnifies. So chances are when you do things yourself, you may say, okay, you know what, it's easy to do. Maybe it's the skill upgradation that's required. But when you ask them, they will tell you, sir, you know what, when an order of a particular kind comes, our manager tells us this and therefore we are not able to do it. Or we get half information and therefore we are not able to do it. Or the volume suddenly increase and we don't have enough people to do it. Or this person who's behaving very nice, when it comes to the work, he doesn't do it. So the workload comes on me. Many problems, right? So you must ask them. And these problems are not problems that people will be able to articulate upfront. but they will definitely articulate it when you ask them what are the reasons why this is happening. They may say things like, okay, we need more people. They may not say that one of the 2 people that we have in our department does not work. They may simply say, we need more people. So understand from them what are the reasons. Why are things not going in the right direction? The last and the 5th G is guide them to create corrective actions. Now, why am I saying guide them? Because the best solution for any problem in an organization is a solution that everybody accepts. Of course, by this I don't mean to say that your organization should run like a democracy. In fact, I'm not even a fan of that concept, because some decisions you will have to take in isolation whether or not your people agree. But having said this, the daily decisions, if you can have your people on board, that's the best way to do it. So how are you going to do this step? Well, after you finish your Gemba, you've written down the gaps, you've written down the challenges, you've written down what they think is missing, and you probably have also written down the ideas that they have. Call the entire team, the supervisor of that department or the manager of that department, sit together and say, okay, this is what we thought we should do. These are some of the things that you mentioned. These are some of the things that I think we should do. These are some of the things that the manager may say. Draw up an action plan. And you don't draw up an action plan. You get the team organized to draw up an action plan for themselves. Guide them to create a corrective plan. Now, why I am saying guide them? Because you are technically sharpening their leadership skills. You are sharpening their skills to solve problems by themselves. The more number of Gembas you do, the far better your team becomes at solving problems. You solve the real problems by doing Gemba. So do these 5 Gs without any adulteration, without any leakages. Do it the way it must be done. Now, when should you do 5G and when should you do Gemba? In fact, well, you should do Gemba every single day. You heard me right. You should do Gemba every single day. Doing Gemba does not mean spending heaps and heaps of hours figuring out what is happening. No, you can have a Gemba hour in your schedule. And when you have a Gemba hour in your schedule, you have decided that on Monday I will sit with this department and I will review this. On Tuesday I'll sit with this department, I will review this. Select one process every single day and go and just observe yourself. Give yourself a chance to see, to engage and to improve, because that, my friend, is what Gemba is all about. So if you like this video, which I'm certain you did, hit a big fat like. Share this with all your entrepreneurial friends. In fact, with your supervisors too, because your supervisors can do Gemba with their downlines. If you have not subscribed to this channel, my dear friend, not all good things are free. This one is. So go hit that subscribe button. I will truly appreciate having you on my subscribers link. And without any further ado, learn more, implement more, and all you lovely folks, keep propelling.